Your CRNA application has stellar GPA, 2 years of ICU experience, and a killer personal statement. Then admissions reads your letters of recommendation and they're generic, lukewarm, and forgettable. Rejected. This happens more than you think. Your letters of recommendation are one of the few components where someone else speaks on your behalf. A weak letter can sink an otherwise strong application. A detailed, enthusiastic letter from the right person can be the difference between an interview and a rejection. Today I'm showing you exactly who to ask, when to ask, how to ask with copy-paste email templates, and how to ensure your letters showcase your readiness for CRNA school. Let's get into it. Text overlay, the ideal letter writers. Most programs require 3 letters. Here's the ideal mix. Letter number 1, your ICU supervisor or manager. Text overlay, letter 1, ICU supervisor. This person is essential. They directly observe your clinical performance. They can speak to your critical thinking under pressure. They assess your reliability, professionalism, and growth. This letter validates your ICU competency. What should they address? Your clinical skills assessment, interventions, critical thinking. How you handle complex patients and emergencies. Your ability to work independently and collaboratively. Specific examples of challenging cases you managed well. Your professional development and initiative. Here's a red flag for admissions: if your manager isn't writing a letter, they wonder why. Is there a performance issue? Relationship problem? You need this letter. Letter number 2, a CRNA you've shadowed or worked with. Text overlay, letter 2, CRNA reference. This demonstrates you've taken initiative to understand the CRNA role. It provides perspective from someone in the profession you're pursuing. They can speak to your interest in anesthesia, not just nursing. What should they address? Your genuine interest in anesthesia. Questions you asked during shadowing. How your ICU skills translate to anesthesia practice. Why they believe you'd succeed as a CRNA. To get this letter, you need to cultivate the relationship. Shadow multiple CRNAs. Stay in touch. Ask thoughtful questions. Send thank you notes. Update them on your progress. The best CRNA letters come from people who've watched you over time, not a one-day shadow. Letter number 3, a physician you work with or a charge nurse or educator. Text overlay, letter 3, physician or senior nurse. Best physician choices: ICU intensivist you work with regularly. Anesthesiologist who's observed you. Critical care physician who can speak to specific cases. Alternative, if you don't have access to a physician who knows you well, a charge nurse or nursing educator who can speak to your leadership and clinical expertise is acceptable. What should they address? Your clinical judgment and decision-making. How you collaborate in high-stakes situations. Your understanding of pathophysiology. Specific examples of excellent patient care. Text overlay, avoid these mistakes. Here's who you should avoid. Family members or friends, even if they're healthcare professionals. This appears unprofessional and lacks objectivity. Professors from years ago, unless you've maintained a relationship. They can't speak to your current clinical abilities. Non-healthcare professionals. Not relevant. Anyone who doesn't know you well. Generic letters hurt more than they help. Someone you just met. No credibility. Peers or coworkers at your same level. Programs want letters from people who supervise or mentor you. Bottom line, choose people who actually know your work and can write specific, enthusiastic letters. Text overlay, timing is everything. Ideal timeline. 6 to 12 months before application deadline, begin cultivating relationships with potential letter writers. 3 to 4 months before deadline, make formal requests. 2 months before deadline, follow up if not yet submitted. 1 month before deadline, final reminder if necessary. Why this timeline matters. Asking too early, 12+ months, they may forget, or your relationship might change. Asking too late, less than 1 month, appears disorganized, disrespectful of their time, may result in rushed generic letters, and risks them declining. The sweet spot is 3 to 4 months. Enough time for a thoughtful letter. Recent enough to reflect current performance. Professional and respectful. Text overlay, the ask, step by step. Step 1, ask in person first. Request a brief meeting or catch them between shifts. Explain you're applying to CRNA school. Ask if they'd be willing to write a strong letter of recommendation. Here's your script. Text overlay, use this script. I'm applying to CRNA programs this year, and I would be honored if you'd write a letter of recommendation for me. I value your perspective on my clinical skills and professional development. Would you be comfortable writing a strong letter on my behalf? Notice the emphasis on strong. This gives them an out if they can't write a genuinely positive letter. A mediocre letter is worse than finding someone else. If they hesitate or decline, thank them and move on. Do not pressure them. You want enthusiastic letters, not obligatory ones. Step 2, send a follow-up email with all the details. Include your resume, a brief summary of your qualifications and goals, list of programs and deadlines, and any program-specific forms or submission links. Text overlay, copy-paste email templates. Let me give you exact email templates you can use. For your ICU manager. Subject line, letter of recommendation request for CRNA school application. Text overlay, manager email template. Dear manager's name. Thank you for agreeing to write a letter of recommendation for my CRNA school applications. I'm applying to CRNA programs for the fall 2027 cohort, and I've worked in the unit under your supervision for 2 years. To help you write the letter, I've attached my current resume, a brief summary of my qualifications and goals, list of programs I'm applying to and their deadlines, and any program-specific forms. Key deadline, letters are due by, date. A few points that might be helpful to address: my clinical skills and critical thinking in the ICU. How I've grown professionally. Specific examples of complex cases I managed well. My teamwork, reliability, and professionalism. Thank you again for your support. Best regards. Your name. For a CRNA you've shadowed. Text overlay, CRNA email template. Similar structure: acknowledge the shadowing experience, express gratitude, provide materials, suggest points to address like your genuine interest in anesthesia and engagement during shadowing. For a physician. Text overlay, physician email template. Same approach, professional tone, provide context about your working relationship, attach materials, suggest key points. All 3 templates are in the description, download them and customize for your situation. Text overlay, strong versus weak letters. While you can't control what they write, understanding what programs value helps you choose the right people. Elements of strong letters. Specific examples. Weak, she is a great nurse. Strong, during a rapid deterioration of a post-cab patient, Sarah quickly identified cardiac tamponade, prepared for emergent chest reopening, and coordinated with the surgical team. Comparison to peers. In my 15 years managing this ICU, Sarah ranks in the top 5% of nurses I've supervised. Professional growth. When Sarah started, she required guidance on ventilator management. Within 6 months, she was independently managing complex vent settings and teaching new hires. Character and work ethic. Sarah consistently volunteers for the most challenging assignments. Genuine enthusiasm. She has my highest recommendation. Red flags in weak letters: generic statements, lukewarm language like adequate or satisfactory, brief length, focus on personality over clinical competence, errors in your name or program details. Text overlay, the art of the follow-up. Here's the follow-up timeline. 2 weeks after initial request, check in to confirm they received your materials. 1 month before deadline, gentle reminder. The deadline is coming up on, date. Please let me know if you need anything. 1 week before deadline, more urgent but still polite. I wanted to reach out one more time as the deadline is very soon. If they're not responsive 2 days before deadline, call or speak in person if possible. Have a backup writer ready just in case. Never get angry or accusatory. Never badger them with daily emails. Never complain to others in your workplace. Text overlay, don't forget this step. When letters are submitted, send a handwritten thank you note. Not just an email, a physical card. Text overlay, send a handwritten note. Dear, name. Thank you so much for taking the time to write a letter of recommendation for my CRNA school applications. Your support and mentorship mean the world to me. I'll keep you updated on my application progress. With sincere gratitude. Your name. When you get accepted, email or tell them in person. Share the good news. Thank them again. They want to know their effort mattered. These relationships don't end when you submit your application. These are professional connections for your entire career. Text overlay, final tips. Strong letters of recommendation can be the tipping point between rejection and acceptance. Invest the time to secure them the right way. Choose people who know you well. Ask early, 3 to 4 months before deadline. Provide all the materials they need. Follow up professionally. Thank them genuinely. If this video helped you, smash the like button, subscribe for more CRNA content, and check the description for the email templates and everything I mentioned. Drop a comment below with your questions. And if you're tracking multiple CRNA applications, check out crnatracker.com to stay organized. Link in the description. See you in the next one. End screen, subscribe button plus 2 related videos. End script. Word count, 750 words. Estimated runtime, 10 to 12 minutes. Voice selected, TBD, A/B testing.